Well, let's carry on with some other requests. And Anna asked about one chart that the whole world is watching, and that is Brent crude oil. And Anna, thank you for the request, because when I saw this Lampel formation a few days ago, I wondered if it can really go all the way, because some analysts I've heard that say it will go to 200 and 220, and we will pay 40 Rand for a liter of petrol within a few weeks, not even a few months. It can still happen, but I mean, it was so steep. The rally was just too steep. And what happened here? Look what we see here. Beautiful belt line candles. We saw this classic shooting star. There was a little bit of a pushback. It could not take out that high. And look at this ugly bearish candle. And what do we see now? Now we see a Lampel formation. And what we'll probably see is a nice sell-off. And that's exactly what we see. So I always want to urge viewers and say, and some of my readers as well, guys, if you see a Lampel formation right through your whole career, maybe trading shares or buying for the long term, if you are happy with a share and suddenly it makes a Lampel formation, you can almost bet $1 that it will come back. And this is exactly that, Anna. It's coming back, but I mean, it's long from, let's just maybe go to a weekly chart, and you will see there's still plenty momentum to the top here. There you are. Look at that. And everybody is watching this chart, and they say, look at this classic resistance that is there. There was the resistance, and that was at 86. I just wanted to point up a little bit and widen it up so that you can see a little bit. There you are. Sorry, guys. There you are. And here you can see beautiful bullish candle, a nice shooting star, a confirmation with a belt line. It comes back, and I think we can easily see Brent oil coming back to 86.45. Definitely not the place to buy now, and I think also not the place to short sell it, because I think from 137 in almost 101 in a matter of 2 weeks, $30, that's a big move. I mean, it was a big move to the up. It's also a big move to the downside. And always keep in mind, remember, oil is also driven between the Russian and Ukraine situation. If something just comes a little bit right there, we can maybe see oil coming back to the support. But what we can say is that the momentum, there you are, there's the momentum. It is still up and nothing is wrong with the chart. It can still go higher, but I think for the moment, first a little bit back. Well, let's look at silver crest metals. I thought that somebody wants to ask about silver. Somebody asked about silver crest metals, and this is a company. And we know now what happened the other day with nickel. There was a shortage of nickel in the market when somebody wanted to get hold of his nickel. In actual fact, he was long, or he bought the stock. And when he went to the bank, he realized that there's not enough nickel in their storage, and that made nickel rally. Now, I heard the other day, and I read also an article to say that if that happens to silver, silver can easily go to $500. Well, interesting, because silver is now around 25, but I mean, it can happen. But let's look at silver crest metals, and Willem was asking about silver crest metals. Willem, what I can see here, and remember this is a weekly chart, I see some nice support around this level. There you are, around the $7 level, there's some nice support. But what I like about it, there's a bottom, there's another bottom, and another bottom. That gives me a triple bottom. But where will a triple bottom come into play? Only above that high of that candle. And if that breaks to the upside, and that will be above, let's have a look there, above $10.40, then you can see, and where's the target of this triple bottom? There you are. I just want to extend it a little bit. There you are. And it can go up, and then it can take it all the way to $13.27. So if you did not buy it at the bottom of this triple bottom, then wait for this triple bottom to come into play, and it will only come in play above that candle. Maybe make use, I will not take the stop loss at $7. I will maybe use this Dragonfly Doge. Will give me a good indication where the stop loss would be, and that will be at $8.25. And this is quite a nice chart. But I would rather, okay, of course, I'm wrong. Some people like to buy the mining company as such because they believe it is more geared to the upside. If the silver price rally and you've got a silver mining company or a silver manufacturer like in South Africa, maybe a Hulamin that works with tin and some other tin cans, you will hear always that they will say, rather buy that manufacturer. But for me, I mean, I would rather hold then plain silver because I don't like the labor issues and all those hassles that comes along with it. I mean, that's personal choice. You can decide what you want to, but it looks like a nice chart, triple bottom, and it can maybe give us a nice rally to it. Let's have a look at, Joe asked about Palladium. Well, Joe, if you look at the Palladium chart here, I mean, this chart, I mean, can you believe it? Early 2022, this low was $860, all right, per ounce. What happened? In a matter of, let's call it 3 months, it went from 853 to the high of the other day of 3,433. Now, Joe, the momentum is still purely to the upside. I also heard the results from Impala Platinum the other day, and what did they say? They said that Palladium is their big money spinner. Now, if you look at this chart, there you are. While this trend line is up, and although we saw this few weeks of a move below the trend line, the momentum is clearly to the up. So I will watch this level, and that is 2255. While it is above 2255, I think the momentum is to the upside, and we can maybe see a nice push to the upside. What I do worry about, and this is the weekly chart, of course, if you draw this line in, what do we see? We see a ascending channel. And remember, commodities like palladium, platinum, even gold, silver, they've got the tendency to always overshoot, like oil. Go to high, drop low. And the same thing here. If it breaks below this 2255, it can actually go all the way down to 1037. And I think that will harm some of the platinum miners in South Africa. So if you do want to buy close to that 2255, but I will maybe make use of a stop loss. There you are, of 1875. If you believe it can go all the way from here right to the top to reach the upper band of that ascending channel, and that will be at 3425. Well, Kim is asking about Pepkor holdings. I mean, we know them as big stores. And I mean, if you look at the chart here, Kim, beautiful chart, higher lows all the way, but suddenly the last couple of weeks it's making a high, a lower high, and it's trying to breach that little level now. And let's see if we can see that breach. Let's draw in that line. For me, and remember this is a weekly chart, it needs to close this week above this line, and that will be 21 Rand 46 cents. If it can break above that, that will be my first sign. But why I'm looking at that level is the reason is this. There you are. You can see a beautiful rally here. There you are. But what do we see here? We see a flag formation. Now what happens is, when you've got a beautiful rally like what we've seen here from below 9 Rand all the way up to 26 Rand, and you see this flag formation, that tells you that the share can maybe continue going higher. And the reason why I'm saying that, if it breaks this resistance line, and that is at 22 Rand 36, in actual fact, it will initiate a brand new technical buying level. And if you buy above 22.36, make use of a stop loss of 20.81. And where's my targets? My targets will be 22.81 and 23.90, and maybe even as high as 25.59, the previous high. And remember, Pepkor is what we call a grant-driven share. Everybody that earns a grant cannot go to some shops like a Woolies or some of the better end shops. They go to Pepkor, and you know what? Strangely enough, we that sits in the verre platteland, we also support Pepkor because some of their clothing and product is brilliant. So this is maybe why the share is picking up nicely, because I think they're not just sometimes a grant shop. They go for the A, B, and C middle class or income group to supply some goods. As I said in the show, some markets really beaten up the last 2 weeks. But I mean, here's one share, and most of you know them, but unfortunately we cannot afford this share. And who asked about Mirinda? Mirinda, I hope you've got a couple of them, because at $497,214 a share, and this is Berkshire Hathaway, the share that is almost, you can say, founded by Mr. Buffett and Mr. Munger. I mean, they are the two guys driving the company. But look at this. The American market was under pressure. Our market was under pressure. And what's happening here? The share is on an all-time high. So it just shows you, if you buy real quality and the management know what they do, then you can sit with the share. Beautiful trend to the upside. If you want to buy, I'll rather wait for the share to pull back to this support line. Maybe you're lucky there. Mirinda, buy it at that level. It can easily pull back to this level of 451,349. Maybe add some shares there to the portfolio if you got it. And if you want to have a stop loss for 411,524, there's your stop loss. And I want to close off. I read an article over the weekend of Mr. Charlie Munger, and he said he bought a share right at the top, and it was Alibaba, and he's losing millions. Why is he keeping on? Because he's got a long-term view. So remember, if you buy a stock for the long term and you are a little bit out of the money and you add up, then you just sit on it, because if you believe in the management and you believe in the company, the share will treat you well. Well, we're out of time. Visit our website www.fransdeklerk.com for more info, and we will chat again.